if it happens. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Did you see the debate last night? Probably did. Too bad it was the last one. We learned a lot in an hour and a half. We always do. We learned that self-control pays off. Donald Trump pulled back a little bit on stage, and he's never been better than he was last night. You could understand what he was saying, and that helped. At the same time, we learned that if you really want to wreck Joe Biden, let him talk without a script for 2 minutes. At his age, that's like the Iron Man. It wears him right out. We also learned something that we already knew. Donald Trump drives a certain sort of person completely insane. There's nothing Trump says that doesn't frighten people like this. He could recite the words from the Happy Birthday song and they would hear machine gun fire. These are highly neurotic individuals. You get the sense many of them have severe allergies and digestive problems, so of course we're only speculating about that. In any case, it happened again last night when the president tried to explain why the human smuggling of children into the United States is a bad thing. Here's what he said.
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here and they used to use them to get into our country.
So human smugglers, coyotes as they're often called along the border, bring children into this country illegally, sometimes without their parents. That's true, and that's what the president said. What a lot of prominent Trump haters heard was that huge feral canines were dragging children across the Sonoran Desert. And of course, they didn't believe a word of it. Another Trump lie! His 916th today! Darshan Kendrick is an elected Democrat in the state of Georgia. She's one of her party's leaders in the state house there. And she wasn't buying it for a second. How the hell does a coyote bring a whole human across the border? She wondered on Twitter. You should know that Darshan Kendrick is an attorney and a self-described investment advisor. So you're going to want to hand your retirement portfolio to her as soon as you can. Coyotes dragging children? Lions and tigers maybe, but coyotes? They're too small. Good point. Nothing gets past Darshan Kendrick. She's sharp. Meanwhile, a well-known student at the prestigious Harvard University near Boston had a similar objection to what the president said. He found Trump's mention of coyotes, quote, xenophobic. Why does Donald Trump never criticize American animals? Ever noticed that? It's always Mexican coyotes or Chinese pandas, but not a word about golden retrievers or Maine Coon cats. So naturally, the Harvard kid was upset because at Harvard, they know racism when they see it. So that's yet another thing we learned last night. The supposedly most impressive people in our society aren't impressive at all. They're dim, and they're silly, and they're humorless. And on some level, they know that about themselves. That's why they're so self-righteous. It's a cover. The rest of us know it too, which makes them angry. If you've ever wondered why the most privileged people in America often seem so mad, that's your answer. Because they're frauds and they know we know it. But back to the debate last night. At one point, Joe Biden told us that hundreds of these children brought here by coyotes, possibly dragged, have been separated permanently from their parents by the Trump administration, which hates families. 545 children to be exact. Now, if you believe that was true, you'd be upset about it, so you'll be happy to know it's not true. It's not even close to true. The vast majority of the parents of these children have been located by federal authorities, and they're refusing to reunite with their children. A DHS spokesperson says that in one lawsuit currently pending, the plaintiffs have been able to contact, quote, the parents of 485 children separated at the border, and yet, quote, they've yet to identify a single family that wants their child reunited with them in their country of origin. Oh, so it's more complicated than Joe Biden told us. In many cases, the parents in question are not in the United States. They're still back home at their country of origin, usually in Central America. In some cases, never even tried to come to the United States, and instead they set their children up with someone else, a coyote possibly, to bring them here. Now, you can say what you want about the choice to do that, but the evidence is clear. All the people howling about children in cages and family separations have no idea what they're talking about or don't care. And of course, they have no answers to the problems they claim are plaguing their consciences. Their solution is to let anyone with a child gain immediate access to this country.